Miami Commission meeting for April 11th, 2024. The attorney-client session has concluded, and we are now resuming the City of Miami Commission meeting. At this time, I would like, there have been a couple of folks that have been here waiting, and I'd like to take them out of turn, if that's okay with my colleagues. For a report, we have Mr. City Clerk?
DI2. I'm sorry.
For annual board reports. Come forward.
All right. Ready? All right. Good afternoon, Madam Chairwoman, Honorable Commissioners, Mr. City Manager, Mr. Clerk. My name is Ariel Trueba, and I have the honor of serving as the chairman of the LGBTQ Advisory Board. It's truly my privilege to present our annual report. I'm a proud native of Miami, proud to serve this community. I want to start off to let you all know that our mission is clear, and it's to advise you all on improving the quality of life for all LGBTQ residents and visitors while amplifying the voices of underrepresented individuals and communities. With your invaluable support, our goal is to continuously refine policies to better reflect the diversity and inclusivity of our community. Our significant achievement of securing a perfect 100 on the Municipal Equality Index, a first in our city's history, underscores our commitment, underscores our commitment to fulfilling our mission and addressing the levels of needs in our community as evidenced by our inclusive laws, policies, and services. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Mayor Suarez and the City Manager's Office for their instrumental role in making this milestone a reality. In 2023, our efforts were concentrated on community outreach, particularly in educating stakeholders about our economic impact. The LGBTQ community in Miami wields substantial purchasing power amounting to $1.62 billion, with LGBTQ travelers contributing to an additional $1.7 billion last year. Collaborating closely with the Greater Miami LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce and the Greater Miami Visitors and Convention Bureau, we are committed to supporting LGBTQ-owned businesses and ensuring a welcoming environment for our visitors to our city. Additionally, we supported the Department of Human Services CDC Accelerate Change Together project, focusing on creating a plan to address LGBTQ public health in the City of Miami, which you all should have received as I hand-delivered them to your offices, respectively. We also organized our annual Family Day and raised a pride flag here at City Hall and the MRC during Pride Month, which I invite you all to join us this year again. I extend my deepest appreciation to each of you for your unwavering support. Together, let's hold Miami to be a beacon of equality for all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, we have, are there any items that my colleagues would like to defer to our next meeting?
Yeah, I'm going to defer one.
Which one?
Okay, there was one in here that I had, trying to find it. Sorry. Can't find it. Okay, DI6. I want to go ahead and defer that.
Okay, DI6. Are there any other items that my colleagues would like to defer to our next meeting? He's deferring DI6.
And by the way, now, sorry, Madam Chair, but are we the DI8? Shouldn't we the attorney thing? Shouldn't we?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yep, moving along.
I'd be okay deferring DI, well, no, not that, DI7 and DI8.
Okay. Commissioner Reyes?
No, I'm moving that one. DI6, I'm deferring.
That's right, just what you're doing, withdraw it.
What's that?
Withdraw it, because if you defer it, it will come back again.
I'm going to defer it for the time being.
Okay, well, you defer it. Okay. Okay, now, I'm just saying, I don't have any quarrel with it. I'd sit here and I...
Good.
So, but are there any items that you would like to defer?
No, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Are you sure? Just checking. What's left in play is DI3.
Yes?
We want to stay with that.
Yeah,
DI4.
that's fine.
Madam Chair, I think there's a presentation, so I'll stay with that,
DI4.
unless we want to defer because of time.
Because that's, I'm thinking,
All right.
because of the time. Defer DI4? Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, so may I have a motion to defer DI 4, 6, 7, and 8?
DI4, 6, 7, and 8. Isn't there one more missing? DI4, 6, 7. Okay. Motion or second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Motion's carry. Okay. All right then. May I have a motion? Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read in to the record the remaining second reading ordinances? It would be SR2, SR3, 6, and 7.
Yes, Madam Chair. SR2, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission establishing a temporary 270-day moratorium on the acceptance of applications for any building permit or permits or zoning entitlements for signage on government-owned property and off-street parking facilities pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 9, Section 2-779 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Administration, City-Owned Property, Outdoor Advertising Signs, and On-Site Signage on Government-Owned Property, providing for extension of said moratorium by resolution containing a severability clause and providing an immediate effective date. SR3, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 2, Article 9, Section 2-779 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Administration, City-Owned Property, Outdoor Advertising Signs, and On-Site Signage on Government-Owned Property, to amend Ordinance 14140 to bring it more into conformity with prior Ordinance 13636 so as to disallow LED signage and other recent changes containing a severability clause providing for an effective date. SR6, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 40, Article 3 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Personnel, Civil Service Rules and Regulations by amending Section 40-108 of the City Code, titled Personal Leave, adding references to Indigenous Peoples Day, containing a severability clause providing for an immediate effective date. SR7, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 50, Article 7 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, City Code, titled Ships, Vessels, and Waterways, Derelict Vessels, to update the notice requirements and procedures for the removal or relocation of derelict vessels, containing a severability clause providing for an effective date. That's the end of the second reading items.
May I have a motion for SR 6 and 7?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the titles into the record for first reading items?
Yes, Madam Chair. FR1, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 10, Article 1, Section 4 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Buildings in General, to create Division 1 titled Building Code, adding the Florida Building Code to and certain amendments thereto, and creating Division 2 titled Building Administration, fees, waivers, contractor, and emergency requirements, and renumbering current sections 10-1 through 10-9 to sections 10-10 through 10-20, replacing Article 9 titled Fence Requirements for Miami City Commission District 5, as that article has sunsetted, with a new Article 9 titled Contractor Code of Ethics, Emergency Plans for Certain Buildings, Certain Permit Requirements, Environmental Violations, Securing of Sites and Emergencies, for those sections that have to be renumbered due to the addition of new Division 1 of the chapter, and removing Article 13 titled Fence Requirements for Miami City Commission District 4, as that article has sunsetted, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. FR2, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 2, Article 4, Division 2, Section 2-207 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, is amended, titled Administration, Departments, Planning, Building, and Zoning. Department Zoning Certificate of Use, required annual reinspection of buildings and premises, fees for inspections and issuance of certificates, more particularly by amending Section 2-207A to provide for a Certificate of Use application fee containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. FR3, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter...
Mr. City Attorney,
That was deferred. Thank you.
FR3 was deferred to May
It
9th.
was,
Oh, thank you.
it was the first.
All right, FR4, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 39, Article 2 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, City Code titled Peddlers and Itinerant Vendors, Sidewalk and Street Vendors, by clarifying the definitions for right-of-way and vending, providing for prohibitions against vending in the Miami Design District Retail Street Special Area Plan, except as expressly approved in Appendix F of the Miami 21 Code, and following the issuance of any required permits, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. That's the end of the first reading items.
May I have a motion for FR 1, 2, and 4?
Move it.
Motion, second?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. SR 2, the moratorium. Commissioner Pardo?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I'm going to start with SR3 because I would actually withdraw SR2 if we pass SR3, and let me explain it as best as I can. For the folks here from PAM and Adrian Arts Centers, you have permits in our system that are legal and will just continue. This is not meant to stop your permit. It's not meant to stop your signs. We argue that we have no jurisdiction in that matter. You have legal permits that are vesting in process. So that is not our intent at all. Our intent with SR3 is to stop any new signs outright from happening. And as far as liability, because I know that was something that came up, as far as liability goes, there is only liability if we stop these processes or we tear down a sign, which we are not going to do, because there is no standing unless we intervene in that manner. So I'm making it very clear we are not intervening. These permits continue to go through. In fact, I'm not even going to change or add any amendment to it. I'm just going to call the motion as is, the way we already voted on it before. And after discussion, we can move.
Through the chair, I want to ask a question. Mr. Wyson, you are excluding the Arts Center in this, right?
There's no need to exclude anyone because they are already in process and they are...
The Arts Center is in process.
Yes.
But I think that we can have, don't we have, Madam Chair, you were saying?
Yeah, so are you saying that you're okay with the signage for all of the ARSH, the PAM, the size, the content? You're okay with all of that?
What I'm saying is, obviously, I'm not okay with it. District 2, the district I represent, this has been a constant source of frustration for our office. This comes up everywhere. It comes up in our forums, in our emails, in our phone calls. So this is a very big issue for my district. Okay. And in the spirit of compromise here, I'm not going to fight the permits or even nor staff, any of the ones that are already in process. They're going to continue down their path. We're not.
Madam Chair, through the chair, I would like to say, I know that, I voted against this from the get-go, but now that we are living it, I would like to make an amendment that the Arts Center have only, instead of 2 signs, be only 1, with the reducement in size, that's as I was proposed in a letter that I received. And I want to know if they are willing to just have 1 sign looking east only. Okay?
Commissioner Pardo?
Yeah.
But if I hear Commissioner Pardo correctly, let me make sure I understand this now. You are not trying to take anyone's permit away from them. So what is in play can move forward.
To be perfectly clear, I mean, we've gone through many attorney opinions, municipal attorney opinions. We've gone through a lot of homework since we introduced this. And if we were to, let's say, provide an amendment specifically to something that we negotiated with ARSH in this case, the county has RTZ zoning, which impacts their sign. The county is the owner of the property in that case. So I'm just saying that's between them and the county. That's between Pam and the state. What we're responsible for, we're changing it so that in the future, none of these signs can happen. And that's why I'm...
Madam Chair, I do understand, and I have here a letter from the county that, for what I understand, the county is saying that it is a responsibility of the city. And I have a letter, both letters that they have. But I do understand that the way that you're doing it, you're passing the ball to the county. But what I'm saying is that even if they go to the county, that go for 1 sign instead of 2 signs, and 1 sign reducing the size. It has to also be equal to the agreement that was reached with the neighbors on the 2 Flagler Street sign. That is that they're going to be on until 11 o'clock, and that's it. You see, I mean, if you are willing to do that, I mean, you're going to go to the county anyways. But I am requesting that if you go to the county, you go to the county for 1 sign. I mean, if they do it, it's because you already asking for permits. You have permits, and in the city of Miami, right? Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'll be between them and the county. We are not putting in any of the signs. Our amendment, we are not proffering it at this time. We're sticking to our original SR3 item. That's...
But if it is, I believe it's much better, because even if the county said yes, we have that commitment. And I know they're going to say they're going to come back and throw the ball at us according to that letter. And what I'm saying is, let's control it. Let's do it in a way that it is controlled now, because the county saying, no, it is the city of Miami responsibility. You see? And I said, okay, fine, you want them to go, you're going to go to the county, and the county is going to throw it back to us.
So would you rather that we defer this item and I get more information and that way? But then let's go ahead and move with SR2 so that we're clear.
So I have someone that would like to speak, so I'm going to recognize. Sit down.
Hello, Jose Felix Diaz.
Wait, Jose, because I'm not opening it up to everyone. I'm not opening it back up to everyone. Commissioner Pardo offered to defer the item, which because this is a new twist.
Yes.
And I think we need time to digest what he's
I agree.
saying.
You see, and Madam Chair, what I'm based on is an April 7, 2023 letter to Jose Pepe Diaz and Jose Felix Diaz, and also it is an answer to a letter that was written to Mr. I don't want this to sound bad in Spanish, but it's Nathan Cogon. You see, that's the name of the person, and he explicitly he says that that in here that ultimately outdoor advertising signs shall be governed by section 2.779 of the City of Miami, and it is Article 6 does not apply to properties located in the city urban code of the City of Miami has by illumination and murals, including but not limited to, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I want to clarify that. Yeah, man. K-O-G-O. If it would have been an A, it would have been Kogo.
And Madam Chair,
Well,
Mr. Diaz speaks, I'd like Mr. Llorente to speak on the other side, just so we have the full information.
okay.
And that's just for clarification. I'm not opening it up for public comment. I'm
Okay.
just having him answer.
Okay, let's
questions.
defer it
Okay.
and we got clarified.
Go ahead. Go ahead. The question. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so the thought is to defer SR3 and move on SR2. And the clarification I wanted to put in is that the language is still in there in SR2 on certificate of uses, which would freeze these signs because they need a certificate of use to continue in the process. So they've applied for permits, but the certificate of use is what allows them to get through fruition. So.
But he's going to withdraw.
No, he's not withdrawing.
Well,
SR2.
not-
Deferring with-
I can understand what he wants to
Yeah.
do. He wants to defer SR3, but he wants to move on SR2 while SR3 is being considered. But SR2 is for 270 days, so SR2 will actually be a moratorium longer than the 1 month extension for this meeting. So that's why I'm raising a concern.
Can we have staff comment a moment on that and its
Sure.
application?
Sure, man, we have to clarify that.
No, on whether that would impact their process on their permits.
So you don't get a certificate of use on the sign, but you get a certificate of completion, not a certificate of use. So let's
So it does
make that
does
crystal
not
clear.
impact the moratorium.
It won't impact
With the
by
moratorium, we're not looking backwards.
No, we're looking
We're
forward.
looking forwards.
Right,
Yes, it is not retroactive. I mean,
It,
we
Right.
Well, it
cannot
can't be
legislate
retroactive.
right, right.
No, they do not need a CU for the sign. No.
And then if I get 2 seconds, can Mr. Llorente just address the issue? He's an expert in this area, and I just wanted for the record, for our benefit, to listen.
Oh, you make peace with it?
So we're not. No, so we are just getting clarification. We're not opening it for public comments because we're just getting clarification on this.
Clarification.
This is fine. We can do this another way if you object. This is fine.
Okay. Okay.
So can we vote on SR2 then?
Yes, if it is.
So hold on.
We're currently discussing SR3, so if there's a motion,
Oh, sorry.
it's my understanding that you're going to defer this item?
Make
So
a
I want to
motion.
make sure from the city attorney that any moratorium is forward. It doesn't look backward. So, and for example, someone has a permit now. They will be able to complete the process.
Yes.
That is the intention, and I can understand where the gentleman was concerned because a certificate of use comes at the end of the process. So the concern was that while they had their application in, they did all their stuff, we'd hold them up at the CU phase. But ACE has clearly identified that these type of projects don't need a CU anyway. They need a certificate of completion. That's not in the code, so therefore they shouldn't be affected by the language in the moratorium.
And what about someone that has an application in but hasn't received a permit as yet? They would still be able to go through the process because they have an application?
That is correct.
That is correct.
We just can't accept new applications.
So we can't accept new applications. Vice Chair?
I want to from the representatives of the people that have put their money into this, because I don't want to see another lawsuit and something of this type, because this was not explained clear to us. Jose, can you come back here? I want to make sure you're an attorney, you're representing your client. I want to make sure that what is being proposed here, you fully understand it, and you have no problems with.
I think that on the moratorium, the clarification is very, very impactful and instructive. On the deferral of the revisions to 2-779, you know, they're right there, so I don't want to speak for them, but, you know, I was hoping to have some finality just because this has been around for a very long time. I think that that's where the rubber meets the road on 2-779.
In SR2, you're
Yeah, I think so. I think that
clear
was
with that.
very good clarity.
Yeah, I want to
Yes,
get
sir.
you on the record on that. So.
Yes.
And the other one, it's
Yeah.
still the will of this commission to defer it. Not,
Yes.
okay?
And just to repeat, I'm being told to repeat it, on SR2, then there's no certificate of use needed, just a certificate of completion, and this moratorium will not impact the city's process that is currently going through on both Pam and ours.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Call the question. Let's get this.
Yeah, let's go ahead and call the question. So I move.
I need a
On
motion.
SR2.
I need a motion for
Deferment.
SR3, let's address SR3
which is
first.
the moratorium.
No,
Oh, SR2 is the moratorium.
SR2 is
Moratorium.
moratorium. SR3
so we've been
is
discussing
deferment.
SR3, so this is the item that we should go ahead and just defer.
So I'll
Is
make
there
a
a
motion
motion?
to defer SR3
To what date?
to the next commission meeting on April
April
25th.
25th.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
How about SR2 then?
SR2,
No, that was SR2. We're doing SR3.
that was
That was SR3.
SR3.
That was SR3.
Correct, so now SR2
So we
is in play.
deferred SR3 to the next
Yeah.
meeting. So now it's
I thought
SR2.
we were going to do it.
So SR2.
Who's in first? Who's in second?
SR2.
So SR2 is the moratorium,
Yes.
which is not looking backwards, it's moving forward. It doesn't impact any applications that we currently have, permits, everything will move forward that is in the hopper as of today.
And just to clarify, any applications that have been completed through our pre-screen process.
Completed through your pre-screen process.
Correct.
But can I just ask a question before we take
Please.
this vote? The gentleman is asking for expediency, right? And are we ready to go? Are we all in agreement to do this today?
No, because there were some other opinions out there and some negotiation
I want
that,
to make sure.
well, I think we should allow for it because two of the commissioners had,
So
other ideas they wanted to kind of work. Yeah.
you're ready to go or you're not? You want to defer?
No, I'm ready to vote.
He's ready to vote.
On SR2?
On SR2,
No. Right. On SR2
for the moratorium.
for the moratorium.
Yeah, I was.
Are-
I was
are you
talking
trying to
about
say
getting
go
the whole
back to
thing done
SR3?
tonight. Yeah, the whole thing done.
Okay,
tonight.
because
But if
I
you guys
do
don't wanna do it,
have, I do have, if we want to go forward with it, I can propose some amendments that I think would be palatable.
Good.
But from what I understand,
It's more complicated than that. That's
Okay.
why I suggest we defer.
okay, which we've just done.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now for the moratorium.
Well, it might not be as complicated. Maybe we could hear your amendments. But
We already deferred it. So let's go ahead and move to SR2.
we can
See,
bring it
let
back.
him come in with whatever agreement he's going to come in, whatever information he's going to come in.
Right.
If we want to add an amendment, then we will discuss it and then we vote on it.
Yep.
Through the chair.
SR2.
So, motion second.
I'll make a motion
Second.
to move SR2 and second it.
For SR2?
Chair,
Mr. Vice Chair.
before we vote, since there's been a lot of promises made to residents, a lot of stuff that has been said, can you just give one quick minute to the head of the DNA so that on SR2 in particular, he could give his point of view?
Okay,
Chair.
Call the question.
call the question.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear what you
If we
said.
could give 1 minute to the representative of the residents in that area, the president of the DNA.
We are not voting it.
No, but SR2 has been changed a lot from what was said, and I think it's becoming of us to give them one more say from all the changes that were made. And here, because the residents were promised one thing, I'm hearing another now, and I just want to give everybody a chance on the record so that we can't be accused of not letting people speak on this issue that have a say-so. We're talking about one person.
Is
Who's
it,
that person?
is,
Are they gonna speak or-
is it the will of the body to allow Mr. Torres to speak?
1 minute.
What?
Come on, Mr. Torres.
Good evening. Thank you for having me again. So the issue here is we've had several town hall meetings with one of the sign companies,
Which one are you?
New Traditions.
Wait, no. Are you speaking on SR2?
SR3.
You're speaking on
We
SR3.
are voting in SR2.
But the issue here is that they have a permit that's moving up to 5. They've agreed with the residents that they're only limiting to 2,
That's it.
right? But that's not in there, and they were going to enter that in the record. And you guys are moving this along without taking the considerations of the neighborhood, because they were slated for 5. Again, they've agreed on principle up to 2. And that's the clarity that we need to enter here today as far as the
Through the
conversation.
chair, you said in principle.
They have
No,
the written
in
statement.
principle, don't work. I mean, I agree because I'm totally opposed to any type of illumination. I mean, of those signs on Biscayne Boulevard on the park, particularly on the park.
Correct.
I'm totally opposed. But since they have 2 already built, okay,
They only have 1 built
one
right now.
built,
They've got permits or more.
and they have
They do.
they have the permits on another one. Okay, fine, only 2, but not in principle. Not in principle.
Correct.
It is definite. 2. Yes, sir.
So there is an amendment from D2 that speaks to those signs. So it is included and it's going to follow, as well as Commissioner King's amendment that was also submitted this morning.
And then would you allow the representative from New Traditions to read that into this? Because that's the issue
It's
that,
there already.
but it's
this
not
morning.
based on what was requested. What was requested was, and he can't read it because you guys deferred it. What it clearly identifies is that they are not going to build more than 2.
Yeah.
So is it,
When he
okay,
comes back again.
hold on a second. Is it the will of this commission to open SR3 up again?
No.
Unless we're going to hear from your proposal, and they don't want to hear it now,
Listen,
at least he doesn't.
That's not water through the chair. That's water under the bridge. I mean, we already voted. You
Well,
need more time.
We allowed
We need-
Mr. Torres to speak, and this
That's
is
right.
touching on what he's talking about.
That's all we're asking. As the DNA, we're asking for the clarity, even though Commissioner Damian Pardo is stating that they were ready to read that into the record to clarify what the DNA in the community has agreed upon.
Todd, can you read the D2 amendment into the record?
So from what I could see from the email that was sent out on April 11th at 9 a.m., the underlined section, okay, I'm just going to read from what I see here in red and underlined. Bayfront Park, 401 Biscayne Boulevard, Miami, Florida, limited to 2 outdoor signs at this site.
with the clarity, right? The hours of operation and all these other components.
That's all separate, and that's why we're deferring the item to get more of that information.
Okay. So I just want to be clear because, as you said, this has been a very touchy subject for the district, especially in downtown,
Understood.
where a lot of individuals seem to believe that there's not a living, breathing population there. So I appreciate the time and effort on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're calling the question?
So,
He still loves you.
Yeah. No, I love it. But you are your friend now.
oh gosh.
It's a makeup.
Wait. So, for clarity, SR3, is there an appetite for this body to open this back up again?
No.
I have no problems with it.
I have no problem, but I'm gonna defer because it's his area that's impacted, so I'm gonna.
Thank you.
The proponent doesn't want it. I mean,
Yeah.
he needs more time and he wants to, I mean, I'm going to,
Yeah, I wanted to put this to bed today to
Yeah,
finish this
it would have been
stuff
good.
up and down, but I mean.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
So,
So we call the question of.
on the moratorium,
Now, before I forget, isn't this one of the reasons, excuse me, through the chair,
We might be here a while.
through the chair, isn't this one of the reasons why you wanted to get rid of the city attorney and the LEDs and stuff, and you were all set with SR2 and just,
Madam Chair, can we call the question?
do I have a motion? I have a motion and a second for the moratorium. All in favor?
Aye.
yeah,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
okay. Okay,
We aren't finished,
can we go home now?
not unless you want to defer some more items.
Yeah, let's do that.
I had a discussion, I had a DI discussion item that it is about the audit, and it is, it's,
D what?
D9.
D9. Okay? D9. It's a discussion item about,
Do you want to defer that? Or you want to hear it?
well, I'm just going to ask a simple question, and I really, I got a little upset about it, that we haven't chosen any auditors because you decided that you wanted to wait until the audits. That's what you told me in my office, and I don't think that's right. If I wanted the audits from all the boards and the parks, I would have asked them instead of having an independent audit. That's all I want to say. And what I'm saying is that you make us look like a fool, man. Because when we go out there and we tell the people we're going to have an audit and in external audit in 90 days, as we agree unanimously, and then without telling us.
If I may, Commissioner Reyes, I believe our CFO said to us that because of the time of year and everything that's going on, it would be very difficult to have audits completed within a 90-day period.
That's right, but they should at least, I mean, you don't have the same auditor for everything. You're going to have every one of those, it's one of those boards or those parts are going to have an auditor. It's going to be forensic audit, you see. But what I don't accept is that the excuse that those parks and those boards, they were finishing their audit, doesn't have to do anything with it. They are mutually exclusive. You see, that's what I'm trying to say. And what I'm trying to say is, and what I want to say is, I love you, but please don't do that again. Okay?
We are getting them done, the solicitation process finished.
Okay.
I believe you've received some communications on that. We'll keep you
Okay.
updated next.
We know each other, been friends for a long time. And you know that I am very real nice and all of that, but man, I mean, I can accept that.
We'll
Okay.
get it done, sir.
Okay.
You have my assurance.
Thank you.
Mr. City Clerk, can you tell us what other discussion items are in play? Maybe my colleagues would want to defer them.
Yes, ma'am. DI3 and DI5 are the items remaining that are left in play, and I believe there was a gentleman here for
Defer the
DI5.
discussion items for next meeting
It's only
Put him at the front of the meeting.
DI 3 and DI 5. Is it the will of the body to defer these?
We'll put him as the first items next meeting.
Or I think DI5 is relatively easy.
Right, the non-gas powered
Yeah.
leaf blowers. We can take that real fast?
Yeah, but on that one, I just want to, I spoke to the resilience officer, director a while back, and my concern is that we were going to ban outright, first it was whether it's us, the city, or the city of Miami as a whole, the ban. And I've been told that we're not going to do that anymore. This is just to buy some electric blowers. I don't want to put a ban of gas blowers or, weed eaters or whatever in the whole city, or be,
Through the chair.
I agree.
Commissioner Reyes?
Through the chair. I want you guys to, before we make a decision on this, and take a good look at the state, what the state is doing. And I have information that the state, it is prohibiting any one of us from banning or making anybody use electric blowers or any electric anything. So I would like to have somebody that I don't know who can do some research in
This is why we should
what
defer
the
this for next
state
meeting.
Well, we have someone here that's going to quickly.
Okay.
Thank you, commissioners, for your attention on this. So this, yes, correct in mentioning the proposal in front of us is about adopting electric leaf blowers to reduce.
Could you say your name and address?
Fuel consumption, air quality improvement, etc. It is right. You cannot force this on anybody. So we can recommend. The city can recommend that folks adopt it because we could be preempted. So yes, that's correct. There could also be a study in a transition period, right? It's probably going to be in the long run, the total lifetime value for operators, more economically favorable to them. And in the short run, less noise pollution, better for the environment, less savings on gas. 3% I think of all emissions are coming just from these gas blowers. So yes, the idea would be study this. Let's look at a transition period and what that would entail.
No, but listen, I'll tell you something.
My name's.
I use
Commissioner
electric.
Navarro, you
I
forgot to say
have 3
through the
electric
chair.
blowers. I have. I'm sorry,
You forgot to say, and your colleague had his hand up.
Madam Chair. Can I speak to the gentleman? I see everybody jumping in, and I'm the only guy here that's called out when I jump in because it happens naturally. I'm not trying to.
I know it does.
To do anything to you.
I know it does.
Everybody else jumps in, and I don't hear it. But we got to put an end to this. If he can jump in at the end, and the other one too, then I'm going to jump in. And I'm getting tired of this. You know what I mean? With all due respect, ma'am.
I know it does.
Speaking of protocol, I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself for the record. It's Silvio Pupo Casco, Economics Lead for the Climate Resilience Committee. Commissioner Cabela,
Can I now respond with you?
through the chair.
So what I wanted to tell you, Pupo, and I know you're enthusiastic about this and all this stuff, and I am too, but here's the thing, okay? I'm a mechanic by training, by the way. I specialize in Jaguars. All my life I've done this, since I was 14 years old, 15 years old. The problem is this. Number one, remember that when you have electric things, your power's got to come from somewhere, either nuclear, coal, wind, or solar. Okay, so it's not like it's free.
Right.
It's not, to build that battery or whatever, it costs also energy to do whatever you're going to do. My point is, I don't want to see a ban permanently, in the near future of gas blowers or weed eaters. It's okay, when we're there, all of a sudden, okay, you know what, they're obsolete, no problem. But I don't think we're there yet. And so what I don't want to see happen, I was speaking to the director of resiliency, and she says, no, what we're going to do is we're going to do a test pilot. That's fine. Let's do a test pilot. Let's see how it goes. But I'll tell you what, I don't want to see this thing where we're imposing our will on people, okay, because the left wants to do it. Let me just say it how it is. And I try not to be here political one way or the other. But the same way that, the other side shouldn't impose on anybody, and so I like your idea. But I for one, if it's a ban and you guys, the intention is to get rid of this in the future completely, I'm not for that, and I'll state it on the record. But thank you for your enthusiasm.
No, it's an important point. Thank you for making it. And I believe the chairman's Aaron DeMeo, which had an emergency today, couldn't make it, but he did anticipate that, right? And I think his comment to you was, we can't force businesses, right, to do this, and we should not. But because they have a voice and those businesses have a voice. Now, the community that's being affected with air pollution and noise pollution and the health implications of this also have made their voice heard during the committee meetings. And so this has, after much deliberation and many public comments, kind of come up. But yeah, we won't force it. It'll be a recommendation.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions?
Commissioner Pardo.
No, I just had a question for the city manager. We have a policy on electric gas blowers, et cetera, correct? That we're moving toward? We have a policy toward migrating toward electric gas, non-gas blowers internally.
But that,
Okay.
Sorry.
Through the
can't-
chair.
For the record, I just can't hear anything that's being said over there.
He couldn't hear you, Mr. City Manager.
Through the chair,
Hold on a second,
I
Mr.
believe,
Hold on a second. That's what
Okay,
Commissioner
okay.
Bell is saying.
okay.
There you go.
We are working on costing that as we speak. That issue.
So it'll come back to us at some point.
The report, yeah. Correct.
Through the chair, Madam.
Commissioner Reyes.
Thank you, ma'am. It's one thing that the city adopts its policy. We are a city, we can adopt it. There is another thing that we ban them in the city. I personally, I hate every Saturday morning that I'm sleeping and at 7 o'clock I hear that. I wish that we could ban it, but we have to comply with the state. And I don't want us to be taking steps that later on, then we are going to be, you see.
That's right. Yeah.
But recommending, yes, I agree
Right.
with that. Okay?
Yeah, we can incentivize it, we can encourage it,
Yeah,
we can't require it because we could be preempted.
That's right.
Okay. Is there a motion here anywhere?
Motion.
No
Just a
motion, it's
discussion
just a
item.
discussion item. Okay. And we have, may I have a motion to defer DI 5?
DI 3.
DI 3.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And that'll be
Motion
to
carries.
the April 25th meeting.
April 25th meeting. And that shall conclude the City of Miami Commission meeting for April 11th, 2024.
Thank you very much, Commissioners.
Motion to adjourn.